Yo, what's going on, guys? um, I know I said we do this at 1:30, but like we're starting early today, because as you guys can probably tell, I'm really, really tired right now. Um, I've been up since yesterday at like 8 or 9 o'clock, working on the script for all, or I guess working on the video for all videos for all new, all different Deadpool and all new, all different Wolverine. So, I mean, making 20-minute videos, you guys, takes hours. It takes almost 17 hours to make. So, I mean, I'll make you guys 20-minute videos, but in the process, you're gonna have to deal with episodes of Comics and Coffee like this sometimes, where I'm just really, really, really tired. But anyway, so I'll do my best to keep you guys entertained. but yeah, so yeah, the posters in the back are from Star Wars. It's episodes 4, 5, and 6, since I think those are the best ones. And then, of course, you got The Walking Dead over there. And actually, let me show you. Well, hold on a second. Let me pull up my real-time camera. There we go. All right. And then you got the Avengers, and then you got my YouTube plaques and stuff like that. And then you can't really see them, but on this wall over here are God, what am I thinking? Episodes 1, 2, and 3. So, but that's where all those come from. And then on the back wall over here on this side, you've got the Incredible Hulk picture that I had, the Tony Stark picture that I had, and then there's the plaques of Captain America, Detective Comics, Amazing Spider-Man, and Superman. Did I watch the Deadpool movie Will Fail video? No, I didn't watch the Deadpool movie Will Fail video. I try to stay away from negative stuff like that. What do you think of Batman Europa coming out? I actually didn't know about that. I don't even know what Batman Europa is, to be honest. I haven't had time to read it, to even look it up and see what it is. What's going on, Steelbender? But no, I don't know. I didn't know what Batman Europa is. What is that? I'm kind of curious. Let's look that up real quick. Batman Europa. Oh, okay. Apparently it was announced 11 years ago, and it's just now coming out. For those of you guys who are coming in, I apologize if I'm under the weather, but I've been up since like 8 or 9 o'clock yesterday, writing the scripts out and working on the video for Deadpool and Wolverine. So, what I think would happen to Joker in Justice League Darkseid Wars, I would say that Joker was one of like the original gods, like an original evil entity. I am exhausted. I've been. When I first started this, I was telling the people who first showed up, that like I've been up since 8 or 9 o'clock yesterday, working on the scripts for all new. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm not in the mood. I'm gonna block that guy. No, I've been up since 8 or 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 a.m. yesterday, working on the scripts for all new, all different Deadpool and all new, all different Wolverine, because it takes, upwards of 17 hours to make a 20-minute video. So, yeah, like that's why I've been up so late, or why I'm so tired, because, I don't have time to take a nap. I gotta get a video up tomorrow. Like, I don't have time to take a nap or anything. Like, me and my girlfriend broke up because I don't have time to do anything. Like, I haven't seen family in hardly forever. Like, this channel literally rules my life. That's why I started Rob Explains, because that channel's more fun for me than anything else. But, yeah, from start to finish, like, it's about 17 hours. Like, okay, here's, all right, you know what, let's explain this. Comics explains the creative process. like the creative process for a Comics Explained video. So, assuming that like I decide to make a comic, like, well, the problem is people won't watch my videos if they're not 20 minutes. So, or I've got to go, like I've got to look at tons and tons of comments of people complaining, about a video or about it not being like 20 minutes. But anyway, so like, so from start to finish, all right, when it comes to a video, let's say that like All New All Different Deadpool is a good example. All New All Different Deadpool comes out of Daniel Way's run, which means that I've got to go back. I think it's Daniel Way's run. Anyway, the most recent run before Secret Wars, which means I have to go through and read every single comic from the previous run of Secret Wars in order to understand everything that's going on. From there, it's reading the new run of Deadpool, which is a single issue, so that's not that big of a deal. Then I've got to sit down, then I've got to type out like about a 9-page script in Microsoft Word for the video. And then, record the audio, which takes anywhere between 25 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer, if I go through and like edit out all the flubs and correct all the mistakes and things like that, adding the modifications to my voice and all that kind of good stuff. Like that happens. So that takes about 25 to 30 minutes, sometimes 35 minutes. And then putting it together is about another 8 or 9 hours on top of that. So yeah, it takes about 17 hours to make a single 20-minute long video. So that's why I'm almost always tired. Like whenever you guys see me, like whenever I do these Comics and Coffee Q&As, like 6 minutes or about like 11 or 12, like it takes a long time to write those out, because it's not just like, type it out, here's what happened. It's like the perspective of the character and how everybody else views that character and what's going on, and going through and talking about like the whole history and all that kind of stuff. And so, like, man, but yeah, like every time you scream and shout at me for not making a 20-minute long video, it's because it takes 17 hours to do it. That's why. So is because, so bear with me here, guys. I'll do my best to keep this as entertaining as I can, but just realize, guys, that every time you scream and shout at me for not making a 20-minute long video, it's because it takes 17 hours to do it. That's why. So, am I happy with how Secret Wars 2015 is going? Honestly, Secret Wars needs to end. Jesus, Hickman, I love you, man. You write great stories. Marvel, just cut the thing loose, Like, it's, and I get that Marvel's basically releasing them as they get them. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. Like, they're releasing them as they get them. And yeah, I use Marvel Unlimited and Comixology to. No, I'm not hitting up the gym because I don't have time. But no, they're they're probably releasing the stories as they get them. Which is why it's taking so long. As far as I understand it, Hickman has everything written out, and it just takes Assad Ribic, I'd say a while to do the art, because you got to think, like. With the 20-something odd pages, I mean, it could be pretty lengthy, but you're talking about, I think issues 8 and 9 are supposed to be like double length issues, so like 40 pages or something along those lines. Like, it's, when did I realize I had an epic voice? When people told me. But I'll continue with the Injustice series when I get a chance. What I'll probably start doing is, well, I'm not even sure I'm going to continue the Injustice series, because in all honesty, like, I did that as an experiment, and I told you guys in the video, I told you guys at the start of that video that if it was popular enough, I would continue it, but it's not popular enough by my standard of measurement, or at least, I don't think it is. Let me check and see, because I haven't had a chance to look at my analytics for a while, but, yeah, like, where's Injustice at? You guys are just going to see some real-time stuff going on right now. This is, like, Straight up, just how it goes. Where is the Injustice video? Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, I may experiment with another video. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, the struggle of making 17-hour videos and being exhausted all the time. And never being able to see your friends and your family and your girlfriend breaking up with you because you never have time to hang out with her. Yeah. The struggle is real, I assure you. But anyway. Yeah, writing is absolutely crazy. Anyway, yeah, so I may do Injustice again. But, let's see. Everything about sharing the load with an apprentice. Oh, I'm hiring an editor. That's why I'm hiring an editor. Because I'll tell you guys right now, like, if I didn't hire Sean, like, if I didn't bring him on as an editor, I'd probably quit YouTube, to be honest with you guys. Like, I probably would have left. I would have been like, I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted all the time. I don't have time for anything. And, like, I would have quit. So, yeah, so that's why it's a good thing that I'm hiring an editor. Because I love doing it. Like, I love making YouTube videos. I love talking about comic books. Like, it's amazing. It's so fun. It's just, I just don't like losing everything in the process. All right. That guy's getting blocked. I just don't like the idea of being so busy in the process or not having time for anything. So, but anyway, are you going to cover any of the Dark Side War one-shots? I'm hoping to. I'd like to. What I'm thinking about doing, like, here's how my DC schedule is probably going to progress for the next few weeks. I'm probably going to I'm probably going to do an Injustice video and a Dark Side video every week. A Dark Side War video every week, depending on how Dark Side War does. Because if Dark Side War does, I'm not going to keep it going. There's no point in, like, making, continuing videos that don't do well. Like, that's pointless. So, but yeah, like, if it does well, I'll probably keep it going. But, like, yeah, so I'll probably do some more Injustice stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get to, like, the one-shots in about a month or so. So. Is Ultimate Peter Parker dead? Yeah. Ultimate Peter, I think so. I'm pretty sure he died in the multiversal collapse. So, do I read the Walking Dead comics? Yeah, I try to. I definitely try to. Let's see. Any more vids on Purple Man, Jessica Jones? Yeah. Like, I'll probably make some more videos. Yeah. I'm not really sure where to go with that, though, because we've covered everything between Jessica Jones and Purple Man. So, how would you rate your video editing skills? Are you proficient now, or do you still feel slow? Oh, I'm proficient now. The problem is it's just a tedious process. It's a very tedious process. So, no, I've not done a video on the deep web. Yeah, the Green Lantern one-shot is amazing. It's probably the best Green Lantern story we've had since Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Rebirth. It's pretty amazing. No, the short change intro isn't coming back, and I've told you guys it's not coming back. Like, I've told you guys time and time again, it's not coming back. So, if Deadpool went against Superman, who do you think would win? The Fury from Marvel or Superman? Well, that's two different questions. If Deadpool went against Superman, Deadpool would probably win. He'd just keep healing until he realized he could use kryptonite. So, let's see. Loving the Blue Marvel thing you're doing. Thoughts on doing a Static Shock? No, I'm probably not going to do Static Shock. But I'm glad you enjoyed the Blue Marvel video. Did you ever use torrent sites? No, I don't do that. I know there are people who do, but I don't do that. Are you going to do a video on Victor Creed on the X-Men? I haven't had a chance to read the all-new X-Men line yet. Like, most of the... what's going on, Brandon? I'm glad you're from Kentucky. No, I haven't had a chance to read most of the all-new, all-different comics yet, except for, like, I can't think this morning. With the exception of Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man and Iron Man. Those are the only ones I've had a chance to read. So, like, those I think are pretty solid. But I'm going to do more videos on the all-new, all-different Marvel lineup. But yeah, so... Rob, will you be doing a 13-hour stream? No, I won't be doing a live stream watching Jessica Jones or Daredevil. Or watching Jessica Jones like I did Daredevil. Um, let's see. Does Asgard and another Asgardian dimensions exist? We don't know that yet. We don't know where Asgard rests in the realm of everything. As far as we know, um, the whole multiverse has been I guess the Marvel universe has been restored to a degree, but Marvel's literally just rolling things out. And so until they tell us that Asgard exists, we won't know. So at this point, I really can't speculate. Um, explanation breakdown videos are hard because there isn't much, and reuse episode is completely yeah. That's let's see. What do you comics on website? What do I use? What website do I use for comics? Comixology is my go-to. If you could write a Deadpool kills DC, how would Deadpool kill Batman? By shooting him from a mile away. Literally. Like, that's. I think Deadpool would realize. Are you Rob from Comics Explained? I think Deadpool would realize how dangerous Batman is and that he can't kill Batman from, like, up close, in a fight, in a straight fight. So I think he would just, like, shoot him from a mile away. But yeah, I know it's lazy, but that would be, like, the smartest thing, the most intelligent thing for him to do. Don't tell Screw Attack that? Yeah. I got a... Oh, okay. Got a text message. Yeah, I did check out All New, All Different Iron Man. We have a video on All New, All Different Iron Man. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, like it's pretty awesome. You think Marvel will actually show Spider-Man before Captain America Civil War's release? I'm not sure. I doubt it, to be honest. I think they're really holding on to that as long as they can. At least that's what I would do anyway, if I were them. Let's see. Can you cover the RG comics? Can you cover the Spider Island event? Can you cover manga in general? Maybe you can bring friends to help with Comics Explained. Can you do whatever you need to do to keep making 20-minute long videos, Rob? Let's see. Have I lost weight? I doubt it, but I appreciate the compliment. What do I like more, Jimmy John's or Subway Jimmy John's by a long shot? Let's see. We just started this about 10, 15 minutes ago, I think. So, Batman, God of Knowledge versus Joker, God of Laughter, destined to fight against one another. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going to happen. Like, I'm pretty sure Jeff Johns is going to take Darkseid War in a direction where, like, Batman and, the Joker are destined to fight against each other for eternity. So, where do I start when it comes to New 52 Superman? Read the origins and then jump into Superman Truth. Like, literally grab Secret Origins #1, which features Superman, and then just jump directly into Superman Truth. So issue number issue number what? Issue number 35, I think, was when Jeff Johns started it. This is a really cool mod. This is the Snow Wolf limited edition. So, yeah, the new Doctor Strange. Yeah, I've read the new Doctor Strange too. That one looks really good. How do I keep up with all the different comics and timelines? As a person with a bunch of knowledge on current hobbies, mind exploding, trying to digest every video you make. Keep up the great work. It's, it's difficult. But yeah, like it's difficult. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to do. Like, it becomes kind of habit after a while, like you just see things as they are and how they transition, like you look at everything in phases, With Marvel, it was everything up until Secret Wars, and it was in phases, and it was literally just story arcs. Story arcs just exist in phases. And with DC, it was crises. Every 10 years or so, it was a crisis. And so it was pretty easy to digest, or at least for me, it was anyway. So, will you do anything on Earth 2? I may. We'll see what's up. But do you believe Hal Jordan is going to stop Batman from converting to the Joker? I hope not. Let's see. Yeah, I use Premiere Pro. Let's see. finally catching this live. I wanted to say, dude, you're awesome. I appreciate it. I feel exhausted, but I appreciate it. Like, I'm going to go to the store and get some energy drinks and get gassed up for finishing out these videos. So, thoughts on the addition of an issue 9 to Secret Wars? Well, what they did is they took 7 and they split it in half to make 7 and 8. And then they're coming out with 9. They just simply needed more. They needed more content. Like, you can literally look. I mean, for those of you guys who saw our recent video about Secret Wars, if you felt like it just cut off at the end, that's because it did. That's because the comic was cut in half. So, you know, yeah, I've heard about Hulk being in Ragnarok. I'm actually really excited, and the reason why they're doing that is because originally it was Ragnarok. It was the original Ragnarok story featured Captain America and Iron Man, but because they're going to be involved in Civil War, they're using the Incredible Hulk instead. So what's probably going to happen here is, for those of you guys who haven't seen, who haven't read Thor Ragnarok, it's a 6-issue series, and yeah, I'm wearing pants. It's a 6-issue series, and it focuses on literally Asgard coming under siege at the hands of Loki. So that's probably what it's going to be based on, I'm pretty sure. Anything on multiversity, I could not wrap my head around multiversity. Like, it was nuts. I don't know what Grant Morrison's doing with multiversity. I have no clue. I think he's out in left field writing about it. I have no clue what he's doing there. Would I want a Spider-Woman TV show? Honestly, probably not. Yeah, if you guys see somebody asking how long this has been going for, just throw it in there and say that, okay, you know, this guy's annoying me. Am I wearing pants? Yes, I'm wearing pants. He's asked that twice. Anyway, if you guys see somebody asking a question, you know, how long has this been going on for? Just type in real quick, you know, how long it's been going on for. So, thoughts on Beta Ray Bill making an appearance? I'm actually really excited. Beta Ray Bill is a really solid character. Like, I'm really interested to see where he goes in the cinematic, or in, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Once it's confirmed, I'm sure, you know, once they release a trailer for Thor Ragnarok, if they feature Beta Ray Bill, then we'll go with that. But, you know, I'm actually pretty excited at the moment. So, you can't hear me? Well, let's see. Is my audio too low for you guys? I feel like it might be a little too quiet. Let me know if it's a little too low. Do you think we will get the Watcher back or stay with the Unseen? I think we'll probably just stay with Nick Fury on the moon. I don't think we'll get the Watcher back. The Watcher I think would be cool, but no, I don't think we'll get him back. So, did you do a Thor Ragnarok video? Yeah, I made a video explaining what Ragnarok is. So, when did you decide to change Marvel Explained to comics? When I was when I was making videos about when I wanted to combine videos on Marvel, DC, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, okay, audio's fine. Awesome, cool. It's funny how like I ask people, like, can you guys hear me well? And they're like, no, you're fine. Like, you're good. I am good. Like, I am amazing. You're great. Yeah, the delay sucks. The delay between like what you guys see and what you guys type and what I see it kind of sucks. But I never really got into Gundam. You know, never really got into the whole Gundam series. I think it's a cool concept. You know, I think the idea of Gundam is interesting, but no, I never really got into it per se. Let's see. You're a huge Spawn fan. Yeah, I have a video about Spawn. On like the first arc, basically about Spawn, about how it all got started. So yeah, that's the video that I have about his character. Let's see. I'm sorry to hear about your girlfriend. Well, I mean, it's not a huge deal. I mean, I've broken up with women, and I've been broken up with before. It's par for the course. It's just the reason why we broke up was because I don't have time to do anything because I'm making videos all the time. It's the nature of things. Am I going to do any videos about Valiant Comics? I have a video about Valiant Comics. Let's see. Are you excited about the Ultimates will be an almost all black team. It doesn't really matter to me so much about their race as it is what the story is going to be about. Like, I'm really excited for the Ultimates because it's going to be like a multiversal Avengers team, and we've never had that before. The only time we ever had that was during because vibranium is a combination of adamantium and other elements. Well, no, it's not really, I guess, but Captain America's shield is rather. It's I can't remember. It's something about the chemical composition, or I guess the atomic composition, molecular composition of vibranium or something like that. It's just how it is in Marvel Comics. I can't offer a better explanation than that. I'm sorry. But anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the Multiversal Avengers. So the only time we saw the Multiversal Avengers was during God, when was it? Secret Wars. Or I'm sorry, Time Runs Out. And it was literally a team that was formed and sent into the multiverse to find out what was going on with the collapse of the multiverse. This will be the first time that we have an Avengers team that will serve the purpose of defeating multiversal threats. And so I'm actually really excited to see how that goes. So I'm looking forward to it. But let's see. The Ultimates has Captain Marvel. I don't think it's an all-black team. Well, like America Chavez is Hispanic, as far as I know. So it's not really an all African American team. It's just a multiversal Avengers team. I don't really look at things at races per se. Look at things as I don't look at the race of things. Like one of the benefits of being born in my generation in 1984 and going forward is that Fallout 4 is actually really kind of boring to me. But one of the things that's one of the great things about being in my generation, to sidetrack here for a second from the whole Q&A. My generation was born in an era where race was not as big of a factor as it used to be. And so I was raised in an atmosphere where, race was an issue if you chose to make it that way. It wasn't as though I ran into it everywhere I went. And so, that's, for me, like, when I look at comics and things like that, unless it's a book like Blue Marvel, that's explicitly designed to focus on the concept of racism, within the historical context of the Marvel Universe, then I don't really worry about race at all. I figure there's far more important things in this world to worry about than the color of a person's skin. So, who do you think the best writer for Batman is? My favorite is probably Scott Snyder. Yeah, I'd say probably Scott. Scott Snyder is probably the best consistent Batman writer. Batman's had a lot of writers throughout the years, and a lot of people have done a lot of different stories. But I would say that in terms of consistently good storytelling, Scott Snyder is probably the best one. I would say so. Yeah, I'm only 31, guys. I'm not that old. When do we get you to talk about Metal Gear? If I talk about Metal Gear, it'll probably be on Rob Explains. So, no, I didn't read Thor's. No, I didn't read it. Was it good? You guys seem to be hyping it up. Any plan to do the Walking Dead story arcs like No Way Out with the Negan casting announcement? All the Walking Dead videos are going to be on Rob Explains. So that's where that channel is. The videos that aren't doing like the videos that aren't doing wildly popular here on this channel are being folded over and condensed down to Rob Explains to see if popularity exists over there. Because the audience that I have here, like for whatever reason, I don't know why, like Star Wars is a really good example. Star Wars is consistently like one of the top selling comic books right now. But every time I do videos on Star Wars, nobody watches them on here. Like nobody cares about Star Wars on here. And so, my name's Rob, not Ron. But, nobody watches them on here, so I just stopped doing videos about Star Wars. The same thing with The Walking Dead. I know there were a lot of you guys that really like The Walking Dead, but there weren't enough people watching it that it was beneficial to my channel. So I stopped making those videos, because my goal is to grow my channel, not to force my channel to stagnate because it's not growing. So, but anyway, so Rob is awesome. Yeah. Jeff Johns doing Aquaman again. Yeah. Like I'm probably gonna start reading Aquaman again, like New 52 Aquaman. So, any opinion on Wally West and him being sidelined? Okay, so here's a kicker. Like my videos are more for like facts than anything else, and so I usually try not to offer my personal biases or non-biases on you know on characters, themes, things like that. The only time that I would ever really do that, is if I'm thinking like, here's my reason on why I don't think this story is that great, or here's my reason on why I think that story is good. But that's about the extent of it. With Wally West, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The Wally West in New 52 sucks. Like that's not the Wally West I know. That's the new version of the Wally West. And maybe they did it because for the sake of diversity. Maybe they did it because they have been going through and they just want to try something new. But that's not the Wally West that I'm used to. The Wally West that I really like is the pre-Flashpoint Wally West. And so I don't think that Wally West is going to come back to the New 52 continuity. But yeah, like, that's I've been reading Contest of Champions a little bit. It's okay. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's pretty interesting. But yeah, so what am I liking best about all new Marvel? Iron Man is a really solid story. Let's see what else. Spider-Man's decent. Spider-Man's never really been interesting to me, so he's okay to me, but he's never really like caught my fancy per se. Let's see. I mean, Ultimates isn't out yet, I don't think. Deadpool's actually really entertaining, to be honest. And they have the Deadpool Heroes for Hire, which is like Madcap is one of the characters, which I think Benny's doing a video on Madcap. But I'll probably do a video on like Deadpool's Heroes for Hire, like who those characters are. Because if you don't know, it'd be really weird. But anyway, why is Spider-Man being hated on by so many? I don't think he's really being hated on. It's just I've never really cared for Spider-Man and Spider-Man stories and Spider-Man as a character. So, let's see. What is Contest of Champions? Is it more geared to the game? Yeah, Contest of Champions is basically like a comic book counterpart to the video game or to the mobile game. So if you're playing the mobile game, then Contest of Champions, a comic, will tie into it. It'll be it's like DC's Injustice is a really good example. Injustice was a video game. DC launched a prequel comic and became stupidly popular. And so oh, Ultimates is out already? Okay, I didn't realize. See, this is what happens when you don't have time to do anything but make videos. Like, you don't get a chance to keep up with all the releases. So, but yeah, like, Injustice was the same way. Like, Injustice was a video game. Then they made a prequel about it. Then became really popular, and then it turned into a huge series. So. Let's see. It's gotten really good reviews, and it has one of my Marvel favorites, Black Panther. Yeah, yeah. Like Ultimates it looks like it'd be pretty solid. So, let's see. Ultimates came out and established that the multiverse is back. Yeah. Well, that was the case. Like when they announced the Ultimates, they established the multiverse was in existence, because of the fact that it was going to be, because it was going to be. A multiversal Avengers team. That was going to be the basis behind it. So, why is Regent in this new universe? I'm not really sure. I guess to be folded over as a villain that could fight against Peter Parker. That seems to be the case. So, no, I never read Secret Six. So, what happened to the Phoenix? I don't know. As far as we know, Scott Summers died, and the Phoenix Force is maybe just out there. I mean, that hasn't been explained yet. Again, guys, until that stuff comes out in comics, I can't offer an explanation on it because I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. So, the problem is we're in this dead band. We're in this dead zone. Secret Wars hasn't finished, but All New, All Different Marvel isn't covering the time between the end of Secret Wars and when All New, All Different Marvel starts. And so there's literally this huge, giant black hole in the middle of Marvel's continuity at the moment, where we have no clue what happened. Like that's the problem with, question: why did Secret Wars do nothing? I don't. I'm with Benny. I think that Marvel originally wanted to reboot their continuity and then decided not to at the last minute. So, let's see. Yeah, that is one of the things that annoy me when people were like we want you to make videos. Like people would post comments like everybody wants you to make a video. Like we all want to see videos about Star Wars. We all want to see videos about The Walking Dead. And then when I made them, like not very many people watched them. So uh, let's see. Um, anyway, what did you think happens in that? What do I think happens in that time gap? How do I think Secret Wars ends? Um, honestly, I think Secret Wars ends with Doctor Doom giving up. I think Secret Wars ends with Doctor Doom voluntarily acquiescing his power and setting everything back to the way it used to be. Like, I think that's how it ends, to be quite frank. Or at the very least, recreating everything to the utopia that it was supposed to be. You know, because remember, Stephen Strange was making the argument that there was no way to go back. There was no way to make things the way they used to be in the Marvel comics. It was impossible to recreate. Using the power of the Beyonders, it was impossible to recreate what had been destroyed. And so the only thing that could be done was to create a new variation of everything. But Doom chose not to do that. Instead, he decided to create a. If you want to get into Time Runs Out, read Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers. Instead, Doctor Doom decided to create Battle World as like a place of testing, and what ended up happening is Battle World came into fruition, and it was a really dark place. And so what I'm thinking is going to happen is Reed is somehow going to get with Doom, talk to Doom, whatever the case may be, but he's basically going to convey to Doom that like you've got to make things the way they're supposed to be. And so Doom is going to reset the whole universe, or the whole multiverse, and make it the way it was supposed to be, as opposed to the way it was before. So basically, like Doom's going to make the Marvel universe as it exists now. So, yeah, Marvel should have definitely done a reboot. Like they really should have rebooted everything. Will I ever finish explaining the Infinity War storyline? Probably not, because that video didn't do very well. That's a kicker, guys. Here's the thing. I know that there have been stories that I've started that a lot of you guys really, really enjoy. And that's fine. The issue here is that when you're growing a YouTube channel, when you are building a YouTube channel, there's a difference between doing things that will grow your YouTube channel and things that won't. And if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you literally have to try different things. That's why I've started series and then quit those series halfway through, because it's melting pots. It's trying different things. It's seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And there have been series that I've started, like The Walking Dead, series like Infinity War, where I picked them up to see how they would do, to see if they would become popular and continue to grow my channel, and they didn't. And so I stopped doing them. That's the nature of YouTube, guys. It's trying different things and trying to grow my channel. And that's why, you guys will see a series start and then you'll see it stop. It's literally just trying something new. It's seeing, whether something will be successful. It's the nature of YouTube. It's how YouTube works. It's how you grow a channel. If I were to not do that, if I were to, what if Tyrone Magnus reacted to one of my videos? It'd be pretty awesome. If I didn't do that, if I went through and I started making videos on things that only a small percentage, only the most hardcore of you care about, then it would cause my channel to stop growing and my channel would start to fail. And that's not good. So that's a really bad thing. No, I don't watch Supernatural. I watched like the first couple seasons, but then I just didn't really enjoy what they were doing with it. So, yeah, I really kind of, said that, I really kind of said really kind of a lot. It was really kind of a habit during those videos. Which new villains do you want to see in the MCU? Let's see. Really, there's only one new villain that I want to see in the MCU, and that's Robert Reynolds, the Void. I want to see the Sentry in the MCU. One Rob, too many things to do. Yeah, too many irons in the fire is what it is. Like that's why I've had to hire an editor. So, but again, that's why you guys will see me, moving away from old stuff. That's why you guys see me doing the most popular things, because that's how you grow a channel. That's how you grow a YouTube channel. That's how it goes. So, um, yeah, I'm making a living on YouTube, but that's the issue. And coming from the perspective of those people, their mentality is, oh, I really like this. Rob needs to keep doing it, And they may be one of like 5 or 6 people who really enjoyed it and who really liked it. But ultimately, it is, I'm in the business of growing a YouTube channel. This is what I do for a living. And it doesn't make any sense to mess that up. It doesn't make any sense to screw that up. So, that's really the way it is. But anyway, why does Marvel hate Mary Jane? I don't think Marvel hates Mary Jane Watson. No, I don't watch Supernatural. um, Marvel doesn't hate the Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. Here's the deal with the Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson situation. All right. When Joe Quesada, he was the editor-in-chief, he had control over the creative process in Marvel. His word was law in Marvel. And the issue is, like, for him, he wanted to take Peter Parker back to the way he used to be. And so he did. Yeah, we had Mr. Sunday Movie. We had James on an episode of the podcast. But anyway, he basically, like, got rid of the whole marriage. Like, he cut it loose with One More Day. He had One More Day commissioned by J. Michael Straczynski and ended it, ended that marriage. The problem is that's like a taboo topic in Marvel. That is the black sheep of the Spider-Man universe. And it's easier to simply just not go there than it is to try to fix it. It's one of those things that if you fix it, you don't even make it worse. So that's kind of the problem. But no, he answered before that he doesn't like Gotham. It sucks. How can you? You don't need to say anything like that. That's a crappy thing to say. Like, don't insult somebody because their opinion's different from yours. That's a dumb thing to do, and that will get you banned on my channel. Like, I'm never okay with insulting other people or putting other people down because their opinions are different than your own. Like, that's completely unacceptable to me. So, let's see. If you could write the Sentry, what would you do with the character? That's a good question. That's the problem with him, is what do you do with that character? Honestly, I probably couldn't think of a good story with this character. I mean, I probably couldn't think of a good story about him at all, because he was a character who was really powerful, who had schizophrenia, but I mean, he's so incredibly powerful that he's like Franklin Richards. What do you do with a character who's so powerful that he can fight a fully enraged Hulk to a standstill? What do you do with a character like that? Who do you have him fight? Who do you have him deal with? I mean, that's kind of the issue. So, Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman to a degree. What Marvel does with characters like DC is they literally take different aspects of those characters and split them up. So, like, Superman is split up into several different characters in Marvel Comics. Batman is split up into several different characters in Marvel Comics. That's kind of how they do their thing. So, do you want to see Adam Warlock in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Definitely. I'm hoping they do him well, though. Like, I'm hoping they do him pretty solid. So, let's see. Why is Spectrum portrayed as a black woman and in Mighty Avengers? Well, crap. I missed that. Well, I can't find that question again. No, the issue is not that Marvel fears change. The issue is that Marvel has a fan base. It's like my YouTube channel is a really good example. There were people who were here originally with my YouTube channel when I first launched. And when I started changing stuff, when I took videos and condensed them down from 20 minutes to shorter, They were like, well, I'm just not going to watch this anymore because it's different from what I'm used to, and I don't like things that are different. There were people who, when I changed the name from Marvel Explained to Comics Explained, left. They were like, no, this should be a channel that's only based on Marvel Comics. Don't bring DC here because I don't like DC. There were people who were adverse to me treating this like my own YouTube channel, as opposed to somebody else's YouTube channel. And Marvel is the same way. Marvel has fans who are casual, who just like reading about Iron Man. And they'll never read another character. They just like reading about Iron Man. There are some who show up in there and they just want to see what the hype about comic books is, and they'll literally just grab a random Marvel comic and read it, and then never buy another comic book again. There are people who are diehard fans and don't ever want to see things change, who are like Peter Parker or Spider-Man, and that never needs to change. And all the stories that have ever existed never need to be wiped out. They need to stay there, and none of those people are wrong. They just have different perspectives. But, it's just, with DC, it's doing reboots. They've demonstrated that with doing reboots, the idea is that you can effectively bring in a whole new echelon of readers. With Marvel, they've never really done a reboot before. And so they're effectively keeping all this continuity going, which is good and bad. It's good because, the fans that have been reading Marvel Comics forever keep the continuity that they wanted. But it's bad because there's no reboot here. There's no fresh place to start from. If someone walks up to me and says, hey, Rob, where should I start with all new, all different Spider-Man? My answer is Superior Spider-Man from like last year or the year before, from 2 years ago. And then the question is, well, I thought it was all new, all different Marvel. It's like, well, it's called that, but it's not all new and it's not all different. It's just Marvel. So, that's kind of the issue. It's one of those, it's one of those weird things, in the realm of comics. With reboots, with crises that DC does with the New 52, fans can say what they want to. They can scream and shout, they can stomp, they can jump up and down, they can talk about how DC is not catering to their fans. But at the end of the day, DC pulled in a ton of new fans with New 52. They bolstered their ranks, quite quickly, because it was literally, if you want to know about Superman, just start here. This issue, number 1. Action Comics number 1, Superman number 1. That's all you needed to start with Superman. And fans love that. Prospective fans had a fresh place to start. Older fans didn't like it, but DC wasn't catering to those older fans because they knew those fans were going to continue reading. They were going to keep reading. Why wouldn't they? They've been reading for 30 years. They probably continue reading even longer. At least that was the perspective of DC. And so it, rebooting it every year, rebooting makes perfect sense. So, let's see. Thoughts on Flash TV show. The Flash TV show is actually pretty awesome. Like, I really enjoy it. Yeah, see, New 52 is great. That's what I'm saying. Like, people will say the New 52 is amazing. Some will say the New 52 sucks, And see, that's the funny thing. So, okay. So here's a question. Here's a really good example. All right. Oh, yeah, these are rings that we got, and me and Benny got these in Rhode Island. Like, this one is the Empire symbol. And then this one is the Rebel Alliance symbol. So it's really cool. But anyway, so here's a good example. All right. How many of you, okay, what are your all's opinions on the New 52? Do you like it or do you hate it? And if you don't, just say like, I hate it or I like it. Just type like, I hate it or I like it. Yeah, I mean, I did a video on Valiant Comics, and then I may end up doing another video like X-O Man War or something like that, experiment and see whether or not, that people would find that more interesting. So, but that's why they haven't gone all digital. They are afraid of losing the older, loyal audience. Well, no, it makes sense to not go completely digital, because of the fact that, trades will always sell. There will always be people who want to just buy trades, who want to collect comic books. That's why they really haven't gone digital. So, I like it. You don't even read DC. People are like, meh. I like it. I hate it. You guys see what I mean? People love it. People hate it. It's a mixed bag. You made it. The Joker made it. I like it. It's a good starting point for new readers. It's a mixed bag. New 52, meh. You guys see what I mean? There's no absolute standard in the realm of comics. There's no definitive answer to what's good and what's bad. There's simply just what people like. So, is the Injustice prequel comic considered? No, Injustice is a totally isolated continuity. It's completely separate from the New 52. In my video about Injustice, I explain a lot of that stuff. I talk about how it's separate, what it was based on, why it was made, that kind of thing. So, let's see. Do I think Supreme Leader Snoke is Darth Plagueis? That would be a cool concept. That he literally remakes himself using the midichlorian. Well, midichlorians don't really exist. See, midichlorians are a weird ground here. If you read the book, absolutely everything you need to know about Star Wars, they reference midichlorians. But J.J. Abrams says, we're not going to be referencing, there will be no mention of midichlorians. And that doesn't mean they don't exist. It simply just means they're not going to talk about them. So, it's like, do they exist? Do they not exist? No one's provided an answer to that. So, you actually started reading Batman again with Endgame? Yeah, Endgame was really, really good. Let's see. Yeah, Injustice is okay. Injustice is pretty interesting. Like, it's not bad at all. Did you enjoy doing the Blue Marble? Yeah, the Blue Marble video was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting. I like those concepts that have historical context, that are rooted in the history of things. Those are the kind of topics that I enjoy. So, Injustice is its own separate, it's its own separate universe. New 52 got rid of a lot of characters that people liked. No, they just changed the characters people liked. They didn't get rid of them. Batman's still there. Superman's still there. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the Green Lantern, they're all still there. Wally West is still there. He's just different than the character that you're used to, is all it is. It's not the same character that you remember. And so yeah, like and that's going to be the funny thing is in 10 years, there's going to be people who there's going to be these debates raging. Oh, the New 52 Wally West is the best version. And then people are going to say, no, the pre-New 52 Wally West is the best version. And it's just going to turn into this great big huge debate. So, I mean, I'm trying to grow it out. It's growing slow. I've never tried to grow a beard before, so I don't even know if it'll grow any more than this, to be honest. Let's see. No, all the Batman continuity is still the same. It all just happened in 5 years. So, let's see. Are there any video comics I can look at? Like motion comics? I'm not sure. Will Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe become a Rune King till Avengers? That would be nuts. If he's like Rune King Thor, like stupidly powerful, I don't know. He was only Rune King Thor for like a really small period of time, for like 2 issues. It wasn't as though it was like a major part of his history. So, I have no idea. Batman has powers. It's called the powers of the writer. I got something in my throat. I was sleeping with the windows open last night, and I might be coming down with a cold. So it got down to like 30 degrees or something like that last night. But I sleep like I love it being cold. In this, I love sleeping when it's cold. So, let's see. Marvel hurt your wallet. I feel you, man. 5 years does not make any sense. Oh, I never said it made sense. I never said that everything like Batman from his first appearance up until now happened in 5 years. I never said that made sense. I agree with you. It's a stupid experience. It's a stupid explanation. But it's the only explanation they gave us. And so we just kind of have to accept it. Or yeah, we just kind of have to accept that it's true. Because they're going to be referencing things from that continuity. So, let's see. Did Adam Warlock die against the Avengers? Against Thanos and Avengers Annual number 7. I have not read that. I do not know the answer to your question. Yeah, I prefer it being cold over it being warm too. Yeah, that's my thing. Why not turn on the AC? Well, why use the air conditioner when I can just open a window? That doesn't make any sense. Motion comics. Oh, okay, you don't like to do much reading, but you'd like to catch up on some comics. Motion comics, you can find like Superman Red Sun. I've thought about doing motion comics, to be honest, but I have no idea what the process is. I have no idea how it works. I don't know how motion comics function. or like how they're made. So, I mean, I'll probably look into it because I think motion comics would be a really cool idea. If any of you guys know how, like, okay, do any of you guys know how motion comics are done? Like, how people make motion comics? I'm kind of curious. Let's see. In comics, what caused New 52? The Flash went back in time and tried to stop the death of his mother, and in the process rebooted the continuity. I know it's weird, but basically, like him going back and trying to keep it's weird. Basically, Flashpoint caused the reboot of the Marvel Universe. It's more than I can explain in this single Q&A session. I mean, if I were to explain Flashpoint to you, I basically ignore everybody else's questions, and for the rest of this Q&A, and I don't want to do that. But simply put, it was Flashpoint. Flash went back in time, tried to save his mother, successfully saved her life, caused the Flashpoint universe, went back in time, stopped himself from saving his mother, and then DC used that to reboot the DC continuity. So, let's see. Loki and their Blood Brothers motion comics. Okay, I didn't. Does that exist? You know, I don't know. Do you read Image? A great Image story is We Stand on Guard. No, I haven't really read Image comics that much. I don't have a video about Flash, but well, I have a video about like the New 52, but I don't have a video explicitly about Flashpoint. So, let's see. Archie comics are funny. Am I a Beatles fan? No, not really. What am I? This is actually, this is e-cigarette. This is vape. I'm vaping at the moment. Where is my regular atomizer? Is what I want to know. Where did I put it? Maybe I put it back over there somewhere. Maybe it's on my bed. I don't know. I put it somewhere. I don't know where it is. Not by my juices. That's weird. But anyway, damn, I don't know where I put the damn thing. Hell's bells. Well, that sucks. But anyway, let's see. Where should you start reading if you want to pick up Blue Marvel? The Legend of Blue Marvel. I mean, that's pretty much like, that's when he was first introduced. After that, he was featured a few times in Mighty Avengers and a handful of other stories, but that was really about it, you know. Why do you vape? Because I love the way the juices taste. Like, they taste really amazing. So, with all the indie comics out there, where the superhero age of movies ends, I mean, it'll never end. Like, I mean, there's always going to be content to make a movie on. There's always going to be content to talk about with regards to comic books. I'm refilling my e-cigarette real quick, guys, so give me 1 second. But, let's see. Phil, come on. Thing takes forever. John Cena took it. John Cena busted in here and took my atomizer, my RDA. Let's see. Cosmic entities in the MCU. Too late to explain in a decent manner. Not really. We just don't know a whole lot about them. I mean, you know, in my video, who made the Marvel Universe, or who made the Infinity Stones, like, that is basically about as far as we get in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with regards to the cosmic entities. So, please give you guys my thoughts on the Jessica Jones TV series. Well, we'll probably do some Jessica Jones stuff here in the next little bit or so. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I mean, I think it'll be pretty strong, pretty solid. Am I a Dresden Files fan? No. I mean, I know Butcher is like, well, I guess Butcher's Dresden Files is really, really popular, but no, I've never really been able to get into it. Uh, let's see. Fury as a watcher. No thanks too much. Franklin Richards versus the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Who would win? The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl by a long shot. Um, do you see interest in the Marvel movie universe ending after Infinity Wars? Not really, because the question everybody's going to have is where do we go from here? And so people are going to be really curious for the first few films to see what Marvel does. I'm actually really curious to see what Marvel does. Like I'm wondering where do they go from Infinity Wars, or do they just say like, okay, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is done now, that's it. Like it was only going to be 3 phases, so I don't know. Uh, what do I think about Venditti's Green Lantern and the Flash? Um, or Venditti's, Venditti's Flash is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's decent enough. My thoughts on Darkseid War at the moment. Darkseid War is actually pretty interesting. It's pretty solid. I'm pretty interested to see where things go. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but I'm like for those of you guys who have read it, I'm really interested to see what they do with the Joker. Like I'm 100% sure that's the Joker. I could be wrong, but I'm very sure that's the Joker. So, let's see. Favorite villain: Doomsday, Thanos, Darkseid. Are you asking me, or are you? Rob explains. Rob explains for a video. Incursions in the MCU. That would be a cool concept. That would be a really cool idea for Phase 4. Like the incursions are happening, worlds crash, like alternate realities crashing into each other, because then they can depict like all these different versions, and then they can just reboot everything. Like that would be a really cool concept. Let's see. Uh, who do I like more, Doctor Strange or Constantine? Doctor Strange, definitely. Just because of the fact that he has such an immersive world in terms of like it's not just about fighting demons, like it's about fighting magical creatures of all kinds, and to me that's really really fascinating. So will I do an explain video on Kamala Khan? Kamala Khan, yeah, probably. A lot of the more popular characters from like the headlining characters from all different Marvel, I'll probably do stories on. So like Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, different things like that. Like I'll do a video on her most likely. So. How am I liking the new Marvel content? Any must buys in your opinion? Oh yeah, like the must buys for Marvel right now are Doctor Strange is a really good one. Invincible Iron Man is a really good one. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, All New Amazing Spider-Man is a good one. If you're not a big fan, you can probably steer clear of it. But there are references to what's going on in the Spider-Man comics, and so you may want to buy it just for the sake of knowing, of having like a complete idea of everything that's taking place. Um, Deadpool's a must buy because it's really cool. It's such a great well written story. It's not the goofy zany Deadpool. Instead, it is it's a a more serious and a comedic take on Deadpool. Um, it's the Deadpool comic is written more like a comic like a comic that's on par with everything else. Instead of Deadpool being an outlier, where the comic is just out there in left field, it is a comic that is. It feels like the rest of the Marvel universe, if that makes sense. Um, All New Wolverine is a really good one, and there's a handful of others too. Let's see. Do you think they're actually going to make a Fantastic Four sequel? Oh, I guarantee Fox is going to make another Fantastic Four movie. Why wouldn't they? They don't know what's going on. Um, no one is ever equal to Superman, bro. Let's see. Favorite Deadpool story? Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. My favorite Deadpool story by a long shot. What happened to Iron Man liquid silver suit? That's never explained. It's just a suit that he doesn't use anymore. Bendis never answers that question. It's just like he had it in Superior Iron Man, but now he doesn't, and we don't know why. So I don't know the answer to that question. Do I have roommates? No. I live in a little studio apartment. Like, no, I don't have a roommate. Um, Let's see. Rob, let me tell you how Austin, Texas is the best place in the world for barbecue. I'll take your word for it. Let's see. Can I do an explain video for Aquaman? Oh yeah, I will definitely. Because I like the character explanations. I like doing the New 52 character explanations. Like that's really fun. And plus, with us being 2 or 3 years into the characters, doing the New 52 is actually really enjoyable for me. Like it's really really fun. So, um, let's see. Is the new Uncanny Avengers book good? Yeah, it's really good. I actually read that. It's really really entertaining. It's fun. It's a fun, interesting. It's just a fun book, and that's what I'm glad about. Is Marvel is combining comedy with seriousness. You have serious stories, but you also have hilarious and funny stories, and that's what they need. Coming out of Time Runs Out, coming out of Secret Wars, like we need some comedy. And especially like in the world we live in now, in this day and age, comic books are a great way to find that. And I might make that. I might make a video. Why do people like comic books? But it's a great way. Texas is okay. That guy gets the band hammer. But no, it's a great way to break away from the monotony of everyday life and just experience something new. So, uh, let's see. Have I ever read 100 Bullets? No, I've never read 100 Bullets. Uh, if Jim Jaspers can't create things out of nothing, can he create a whole universe like Franklin Richards? Well, I mean, assuming he doesn't really, he can to a degree, but that's never been demonstrated. And in the end, all we can do is go through the context of the comics. When Franklin created a universe, he created a universe that was like a pocket universe, like literally a miniature universe. There's no reason to believe Jim Jaspers couldn't do the same thing. He just never did in his stories. So, who got banned? Some guy who was insulting somebody else's, insulting somebody else. Look, guys. I mean, these Q&As are fun. And the only thing I ask here during these Q&As is that you guys treat people with respect. That's the only thing I ask here on my channel. Treat people with respect, and you'll be treated with respect. If you treat people with disrespect, you're gonna get banned, and that's all there is to it. So, let's see. Jaspers requires a universe to exist for him to manipulate it. Exactly. Will Joker remember Batman's identity? I don't know. See, here's the kicker, guys. When it comes to DC at the moment, DC is focusing on stories as opposed to continuity. And so, like Darkseid War, for example, Darkseid War will likely feature the Joker. It will likely bring the Joker into the forefront. And the question becomes this, what's what? Who's who in terms of the Joker? Is the Joker, will the Joker remember everything? When does Darkseid Wars take place? That's the big issue here is DC's not establishing when Darkseid War takes place. Maybe Darkseid War takes place after Batman Endgame. Maybe it takes place before Batman Endgame. We don't know the answer to that question. So, when does Superman Truth take place? Does it take place before Darkseid War? Does it take place after Darkseid War? The answer to that question is not given here. So, let's see. Except for Fox, no respect for them. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, guys, and then I'm going to bounce off here. But, yeah, creativity over continuity, exactly. Which I think is actually a good call. It's better to create good stories and not worry about continuity than to create subpar stories while worrying about continuity. It's the classic question of a doctor. Who would you rather have? A doctor that ignores you while you get better, or a doctor that sits at your side while you get worse? I guess I guess it would really suck to have a doctor that ignores you while you get worse, but that'd be really messed up. But nonetheless, like that's kind of how the example goes. So, let's see. Have I read Black Vortex? No, I haven't read Black Vortex. A lot of the stuff, is in my opinion, and here's where things lie. For those of you guys who are looking to get into Marvel Comics right now, your best bet is to start with all new, all different Marvel, with the all new, all different Marvel titles. If those stories reference previous events, then you may want to go ahead and start reading, start reading those. If you are, if they don't reference previous events, then don't worry about them. That's kind of my philosophy, so let's just kind of tie into old things as they tie in. So, but yeah, let's see. Love that you finally made it on here, iRock. Well, I appreciate that, but like you actually made it at the last minute because I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Let's see. Thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja? I haven't read that. Like I said, guys, it takes me about 17 hours to make a video that's 20 minutes long. So that's why I don't really make those videos that long anymore. But I haven't had time to read a lot of new publications. So if they're not essential, I haven't really had time to read them that much. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We're gonna go ahead and bring this to an end. But yeah. So I will. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go get some energy drinks, get gassed up, and get to work on making these. Or I guess putting together the all new, all different Wolverine and all new, all different Deadpool videos. So yeah. I will catch you guys later. Peace. Crap, there it is.